Alright, everybody, let's continue on with FTEs. Who's next? Two. Who should we go for next? We're done with her. We're done with her, obviously. What would these people like? I can't. I can't FTE you because you're nowhere to be found. Oh wait, we could go for Hiyori Tsubaki. What do we have? Nintendo Switch. She'd like that, I think. Anything fun, I guess. Bluetooth earphones. Maybe she'd like that too. White paper. What's that supposed to do? Book cover. Fountain. Mint candy. Maybe she'd like that. And sliced cake. Alright, let's go for her. Let's go for the map. Let's see. Where could she be? The gym. The infirmary entrance. Store. AV room. Oh, class 1A. Hey there. Let's save here, please. 3. What? It's Miyuki. What are you doing here? You come to see your sis? You're always welcome, hehe. She's adorable. I knew you would. I'll let you play as you wish. She's adorable. Spend some time talking with the carefree Tsubaki. Give her a gift. Is Nintendo Switch. Yeah. What, this? Are you giving it to me? It's for me? This is real. It's really, really real, right? It's not like there's some ulterior motive. Just a pure gift, right? So I can just take it, right? Seems to quite a lot. Nice. Tsubaki? I came to talk to her, but for some reason, Tsubaki remained motionless, staring deeply at me. Huh? Oh, it's Miyuki. What's up? You didn't even realize I was here. It's nothing important. I just wanted to talk to you. Talk? Why? No reason, honestly. I'm just bored. Bored? That word must have flipped the switch. You are? Miyuki, you're bored too, right? Do you feel like your flesh is rotting away, your bones are shredding, and you can't stand it? Do you want to run out of this building right now? Or you want to punch that Monokuma guy right now? You'll die if you do that last one. Calm down. Yep, it turns out I'm not the only one. I was so worried that I was the only one curled up like this because everyone else seemed to be fine. I'm normal, thank goodness. You didn't even notice when I walked up to you with a really stoic face. Was that because you were bored? Of course, honestly, it's killing me these days. How long has it been since I've seen a blue sky? Supra's steering wheel is growing on me. I don't want anything big. I'm just hoping for a full throttle on the open road. Supra? Is that how you pronounce it? Supra? Supra? Oh, my baby. A Toyota Supra A80. Or Supra. It's a discontinued model that cost me a fortune to buy, and I'm not the most generous of wallets. Come to think of it, that was your talent, ultimate chauffeur. You can call me ultimate driver because it's more flattering. The essence doesn't change, right? That's cultural history. The essence doesn't change, right? That's cultural history. Why is there always something to speak about? I'm a driver no matter what. Driver. Tsubaki's tongue-in-cheek behavior was pretty silly, but it didn't feel all that bad. So, what you're driving is an actual vehicle, right? Do you have a license? Yeah, of course. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I can drive any ground transportation on 4 wheels, and I'm fully licensed. 1 large license, 1 medium license, 1 semi-medium license, 1 ordinary, 1 large special license, 1 type large 2-wheel, 1 ordinary 2-wheel license, 1 type small special license, 1 type prime mover bicycle license, 1 type traction license, 2 type large license, 2 type medium license, 2 type ordinary license, class 2 oversized specialty license, class 2 towing license, etc. In our language? In simple terms, this means I could drive cars, trucks, vans, tractors, snowplows, heavy equipment, and tow trucks. It only has 2 wheels, but it's a motorcycle. I got it in case I ever need to use it. I thought you can get a driver's license in Japan at the age of 18. You're a high school student, right? Busted. I'm actually 25, old enough to be old, and being a high school student is my cover. Sorry for deceiving you. So what's the real reason? At least pretend to be fooled. I'm still in high school, it's just that my country has made an exception for me. You're the only one who's allowed? Why? Well, maybe it's because I'm so pretty and competent and nice. I don't know about the first one, but it's not usual for a country to allow one individual. Is this because you're an ultimate student? I didn't think about it, I just grabbed it, turned it, and stepped on it. When I came to my senses, I was told that I couldn't write more because the list of cars I could drive was full. So I got a driver's license that only I could get. It's a one-of-a-kind limited edition. I'd love to show it to you, but there's nothing I can do now that all my belongings have been taken. I'm sorry about that. Nothing to be sorry about. You'll show me when we get out of here and get our stuff back. What do you think? Ooh, that's a great idea. Okay, I'm definitely getting out of here. I'll show you when I get out. Tsubaki smiled broadly while saying that. Would it be good to imitate the way she doesn't lose her cool, even though she says she's bored or feels like she's going to die? That attitude may be just the thing to break the ice and spark change. She's really hopeful and optimistic. I like her a lot. 1 skill point. Afterward, I chatted with Tsubaki and returned to my private room. I'm back. Don't forget to stretch, boys. Plenty of time left. What do we have as gifts? I wonder if it's enough though. Does she like Bluetooth headphones? Or if not Bluetooth headphones, will she like cookies? I make candy, slice cake. What else? Hand mirror? Butter, green tea bags, airsoft gun. Ooh, that sounds fun. Let's see, where could she be? Oh, this event part. Well, we can just skip this. Here she is. Save. You giving me this? Are you thinking about me? Think I'll use it well. Tsubaki seems normal about it. Well, it's not bad. Trees. Spoon. Neckerchief. Fox piss. Sun. Nails. Showbiz. Quiz. Zoom. Give up. There's none. Damn, I lost again. How come I can't win once? I purposely used that word that ends in Z to induce you to write quiz. Don't lie to me. Do you think the Empress of the Ends, Tsubaki, was so easily swayed? What the hell are you, some kind of ultimate linguist or something? Seriously? You're the only one who uses words like swoon or fox piss. I tried to remember anything that sounds like it might be useful in the closing. I thought I had it all figured out, but I didn't know when to use them. I have to remember. Zoom. Well, a bet's a bet, so let's fulfill our promise. 100 Monokuma coins paid immediately. What does zoom mean exactly? That's an odd way of saying. Pay. There are so many words in the world I don't know. I will continue to work hard. Pay. Now. Why not call it a draw? Do you not have that many coins, or did you not want to give them out? If it's the former, I'm sorry. Why did you bet on something that wasn't there? Well enough for the coins, you'll grant me a wish. Wish, what is it? Nothing big. What does Tsubaki want to be? I want to hear the answer to this question. What do I want to be? Are you asking me what I want to be when I grow up? It's okay to have aspirations, it's okay to have life goals. I want to hear them. You have to pick one thing you want to do the most. Going to replace 100 coins with that? Isn't that boring? It's worth $1 billion to hear from someone who's at the top of their game. If I'm happy with the results, we'll skip the coin talk. All I need to do is come up with my mouth clean, huh? Thanks a lot. Let's see then, what do I want to be? It's F1 after all, the hottest place in the world to race, and every racer's dream. It's hard to reach the pinnacle of F1 no matter what country you're from. It's a place where people literally put their lives on the line to race. I've heard F1 cars compared to wild horses that are hard to control, but it's exactly what it sounds like. An engine that has more power than a normal car, but no driving aids. The only thing you have to rely on is your own abilities, physical strength, I don't know how that's pronounced, fuselage, vision, split-second judgment, and basic driving skills. Sounds hard, right? But doesn't that make you want to challenge yourself, to push yourself to see how far you can go? At least I do. Wow, isn't that cool? Yeah, it's cool. That's a really soulless compliment. Honor it a little more. No, I'm serious. Anyway, if there's a limit, there's this. Have you ever heard of a rally? Yeah, I've heard of it. It's a car race. Yeah, they say that the Dakar, or is it Dakar? Not sure. Dakar Rally is the hardest one of them all, and I'd like to try that one. It's a race on an extremely untouched dirt road that is extremely difficult, often fatal, and has no prize money. No prize money? Then what's the point of that? Sure, it's nice to have a sponsor, but if that's what you're after, just enter the race. Why would they risk their lives to do such a dangerous thing? Adrenaline junkies? Maybe, I think it's because there are a lot of people like me. I love cars, I love running, I love danger and accomplishment. I'm also confident that I'm in complete control of whatever car I'm behind the wheel of, but in such an extreme environment, not everything goes as expected. Even the best driver in the world can't get to the goal if they're not careful. I guess that's proof that there are a lot of crazy people who are racers, which you may not understand, but... No, I understand. When you're passionate about something and you're willing to die for it, it's a sign that you have a clear mind. In fact, that's why I ask you what you want to be in the future. I don't have a full memory, including my talents, right? On the contrary, I was oblivious to the field where I was crazy enough to win the title of Ultimate. That's why I wanted to hear other Ultimate's ideals, nothing else. I see. As a crazy individual, I can definitely understand. Anyway, it was about time to get to know your desire to drive. Thanks for the answer. This is the end of the coin exchange. Yay, money in the bank. So, which of those two do you want to do more? Huh? Do I really need to decide that? I don't know. I want to do both. No regrets on that comment, huh? No, why would I? I said it before. Future aspirations are fine, and if you have a life goal, that's great. I want to hear it. You have to name the one thing you want to do most. In other words, you should definitely pick one. I also said that if I was not satisfied with the answer, I would cancel it. But since you didn't name one, I'm a little unsatisfied. But... What? Hey, that's not fair. You should have read the fine print when you signed that contract. Haven't you ever heard that life is about practice? I didn't think you'd be the kind of person to get hung up on trivialities, Miyuki. Are you thinking you're going to prove your theory of the ultimate linguist? This captain is very disappointed in you. That was just a half joke. I was actually trying to say this. If we could escape this academy, I would love to ride in your car. If you promise me this, I'll pretend it never happened. How's that? What? I have to promise you something like that? If we're going to escape together, it's something we're definitely going to do. It can't hurt to have corroboration. Well, fine. I promise if we go outside, I'll put you in the nicest car I can find and drive you around the world. With that, Tsubaki held out her pinky finger. The classic way. Without hesitation, I reached out and linked my finger with her white, slender finger. At the same time, I prayed that we would get out of here safely and that this promise would not be an empty one. Please don't let her die. Oh my god. I'd be pissed if she dies. I'm gonna get angry. I then separated from Tsubaki and returned to my private room. She's so nice. God damn, it's so pure. Oh, nighttime. Gotta skip this part. Okay, where were we? Oh wait, white profile. Let's go to the map. Oh wait, there she is, hallway. There she is. Let's see, what gifts do we have? She like cakes? How many cakes do we have? 2 of them. Save here. Boop, boop, boop. Shit, she likes it. Awesome. Miyuki, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to run. Where to? Where? The hallway, of course. Because what else is there in this cramped space but a hallway? The McLarens of the school are on my legs and shoes. Let's go room. I'm sorry, I'm being ugly. I'm a very boring person. I know it was unsightly. Is McLaren the name of a car? The name of the car company, to be exact. I own one of the cars they produced, a McLaren GT, and it's my pony car number 2. It's the kind of car that you can just step on the gas without thinking when you want to feel the speed. It was worth every penny. When we talked about supper before, you said your wallet was no good for it. I guess you could afford those 2. Yeah, I could buy 2 supercars, especially an original McLaren. Just because I'm the ultimate driver doesn't mean I own a lot of cars. But hey, you're still in high school, so that's pretty impressive. The way you're talking, you sound like you're about to break the price record. Well, that's a given. Who am I? A regular high school student? I am an ultimate. I can definitely pay for it myself if I wanted. This makes me want to start telling my anecdote again. If I do, will you listen? What anecdote? The story of my crazy life. Honestly, don't you wonder what kind of life I've had since I'm licensed to talk about grown-up subjects? I have no reason not to listen. In fact, I'd welcome it. Good for you. Brace yourself because we're going to have to go back a few decades. So a long story began. Started with racing karts, not real cars of course, although that was a decade ago. My dad is also quite interested in driving, so we were a natural fit. After watching me a few times, he said, "Why don't you go compete?" What did I know as a kid? I just drove the way I was taught to drive and I won right away. I don't remember much, but I was the youngest winner and was featured in the local newspaper. After that, I was told that the normal process is to join a team and be coached by a legal trainer. Every team I went to wouldn't take me, so I ended up practicing on my own. You're rejected. Why? Every coach I've ever met, after a few practices, I stuck my tongue out. They say I ride better than they do after decades of practice. They say they have nothing to teach. Normally, a gem of talent would be eager to reap the rewards. I can't imagine what it would be like to be rejected. I wonder if they felt like their whole life was being denied to them. Overwhelming talent is a scary thing. Which is not my place to say. It is why I'm so perplexed whenever this happens. I'm just doing what I can, and it's an impregnable wall for someone else. Maybe even if I was on the team, I wouldn't have a good relationship with teammates, right? They're all kids competing for their lives, and if they saw me, they probably wouldn't say anything nice. I wonder if the winners in life who seem to win without much effort have their own struggles. At first glance, you may think there are none. The concern on Tsubaki's face could not be interpreted as anything other than genuine. I don't remember ever striving for something, but a talent that makes effort irrelevant is definitely a scary thing. Still, I don't think you need to go there. It's okay to be a little selfish. You have the talent to do it, and whatever you do with it is what your heart wants. What? Are you worried about me? While you pretend to be indifferent and listen, I may think such wonderful thoughts inside may impress this girl. While you pretend to be indifferent and listen, I may think such wonderful thoughts inside may impress this girl. You can call me whatever you want. I just said it because you seem genuinely concerned. Seriously, I can't make friends with anyone I can talk to because of this, and it's caused me a lot of heartache in the past. You're right, after that I decided to just go for it. Who cares if I'm a dick? If you're a dick, drive a car as good as I do. I didn't say you had to be that brazen. I don't care. I'm not going to listen to anyone when it comes to driving. Because I'm the best driver in the world. That's a jealous confidence. What's there to be jealous of? It's the same for you. Even if you don't remember your talent. If you've come all the way to this school, you're probably as good as me or better, so who's to say you can't be a little bossy? Memory loss, honestly, is something you could live without, but you're not going to be like this forever. You'll remember at some point. Until then, take it easy. Life is meant to be enjoyed. Yeah, I think you're probably right after all. Thanks for the advice. Yay, another problem solved. I love listening to people, so if you ever have a problem, come see me. I wasn't really looking for advice, but I've been given some, so we'll call it a win-win. By the way, the story seems to have taken a very different path, or is it just me? Yeah, it did. It became Miyuki's. One skill point. I then separated from Tsubaki and returned to my private room. Awesome. Let's see now. So we have another sliced cake. Where could she be? Hopefully not in the events thingy. But I do remember her being in the bathhouse. In the laundry. Oh, yep. In laundry. There's an event. She's here. So we can't do anything about it. Let's get out of here and skip this part. There you are. Save here. Awesome. Miyuki, hi, what are you up to today? Well, I've been thinking since the last time I spoke to you. Didn't we kind of take a different path in the topic? I vaguely remember telling me to come to you if I wanted to talk to you. Sorry, I'm not the best at remembering conversations. I'm disappointed in you, Tsubaki. Was I really that bad of a person to you? I remember every single word you said. Well, that one line, I don't remember it. I'm sorry, Miyuki. I think I was too casual with you without considering your feelings. I won't do that again. It's okay, I'm just kidding. I'm not offended. What? Oh my god, I thought you were serious. It was a joke? You said I was too serious last time, so I thought I'd make a joke. No good. Rather than not, it was so sudden. When I first talked to you, I thought you were a serious guy who didn't know any humor, but you turned out to be a player. Anyway, so where were we? We talked about how you tried to join a racing karting team and were rejected. Alright, that's it. So you want to hear about my driving life again? Yeah, kind of. I said I wanted to hear it before. Okay. Then resuming. After that, you had to go to an advanced course to have a legitimate driver's life, and I never intended to go that far. I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted to do yet. It was costing me a lot of money to pursue a career as a driver. It's almost pathetic in hindsight, but at the time, I was worried that I couldn't afford to throw money at a career path that was still uncertain. Tsubaki wouldn't be what it is today without a clear turning point. Did anything happen to make that happen? Bingo, I got lucky, and an old man showed up to sponsor me. He's the chairman of a company you know by name. You don't know it, I guess. I'm used to having sponsors in this industry, but it's rare for someone my age to have one. There was a rumor that I went around to find a team breaking coaches' stamps, and he was intrigued by that. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my sponsor, like a grandfather. I'm still very grateful to him. I know that money matters a lot in sports, but big things usually require the backing of people with suspiciously deep pockets. I can't even begin to fathom the favor he has done for me. Gave me a car to use for everything from practice fees to everyday expenses to snacks. I was so shaken and embarrassed that I couldn't even write properly. Did you do anything for him? When I was a kid, I didn't really do anything. I just drove a cart in front of the house and goofing around with the family. I've had people ask him about that, like, why did you see me and think about backing me and stuff like that. He just missed his granddaughter, who is a good driver. My Gramps is pretty young, and on the weekends, he just picks up one of the cars in his collection and drives it. He wanted to see the buds of pure young talent flourish. When I was younger, I didn't know anything. When I had a grandfather with a lot of money, I just asked him to buy me this and that, but when my head got bigger, my conscience got pricked. So now that I'm able to make money on my own, I've been meaning to send him a portion of my profits. He said that's not why he sponsored me. In the end, he said he only wanted my heart in it. Still, he must have been proud of it that he began laughing. I'll take care of him someday. No matter how much I make, I'll never come close to what he'll make in retirement, but if I can help a little bit, that's all that matters. That's a great idea though. It's like another member of the family for you, right? Of course, it was like my long-dead grandfather had come back to life. Anyway, I pretty much stopped worrying about money from a young age. I decided to pursue a career in motorsports like F1 and I went for it. But something else happened later. How did you know? It seemed like it should be on the flow. I guess. The anomaly you're talking about happened when I was just starting middle school. I had a private driving lesson with my sponsor, my Grams, and we were on our way back to my house. I was driving down a dark alley in my car, and suddenly I felt a jolt like I've never felt before, and I just passed out. I woke up to find myself tied up and surrounded by strangers. You've been kidnapped. That's a pretty calm understanding. I'm not sure I even realize how it happened even now. The reason for kidnapping, it was Gramps, the chairman of the company. It was obvious. He told me that my Gramps just happened to be with me in a defenseless situation. My grandfather avoided bringing extra people, like bodyguards, when he was with me because he thought I would be scared. It occurred to me that maybe that was the reason. The kidnappers demanded an amount of money for my Gramps' ransom that I'd never touched in my life. Of course, my parents also demanded me for the ransom. One is a kid just out of middle school, and the other is an old man, albeit a very wealthy one. The odds are stacked against you, but the flip side of that is that they were just caught off guard. I took advantage of my grandfather being an elderly man and purposefully stalled them by pretending to be unwell. I managed to figure out the layout of the kidnappers' building and the placement of the people. When it was time to eat, I took advantage of a lapse in surveillance and used a hastily improvised lockpick to pry open a window and managed to escape. You're amazing! Not only did you stay calm in that situation, but you acted like it. My Gramps is a bit of a big deal, isn't he? He didn't get to be president for nothing. But when I got out, I realized there was a problem. The area was a mountain, and it's not a good place to run away. A kid here, an old man there, a couple of men on the other side, and it was only a matter of time before they find out. So we were like, I don't know, so we were put in a strong decision. Now, what do you think it was? Well, stole a car and drove off? You went to drive a car? It was the one I was most confident within that situation anyway. The Mercedes SL600 we were in when we were kidnapped was the best we could do. We broke into the garage hoping there was at least one car we could drive away. As a result, the Mercedes was so noticeable that it didn't show whether it was disposed of in the middle or left behind. I found the keys to one of the kidnappers' cars and managed to steal it, I think. I still remember the car, a third-generation Honda Pilot. If I had more time, I would have slashed the tires of all the remaining cars, rendering them useless and escaping. I was spotted as soon as I started the car, so I frantically stepped on the gas. So in that situation, did you naturally decide to drive? Normally, no matter how good a miner's driving skills are, the adult would be behind the wheel. My Gramps had been beaten so badly during his incarceration that he was in a bad shape and hadn't even finished untying himself. I was not restrained and there were no bruises on me, so I had no choice but to drive, albeit uneasily. It was the first real car I'd ever driven on a mountain road, with kidnappers shooting at me from behind. It was the worst. They were shooting too? I mean, they're kidnapping the head of a company, so it's not a bad idea to be prepared for that. Would I be here if this body had succumbed to all those threats? I was driving my first car on a bumpy mountain road, in complete control. I outrun the kidnappers and I arrived back on the pavement. Suddenly, a car cuts in front of us. I thought, is this the end of the story? And then I looked closer and I saw that it was a police car. The police had already identified the kidnappers' approximate location and were searching the neighborhood. Suddenly, the helicam captures a car driving like a madman down a dirty road, with gunfire flying behind it. They went right in, the kidnappers were killed, and we were brought to safety. This is important because I was in an ambulance being transported to the hospital. I was mostly unharmed, and my grandfather had to get medical attention for bruises and abrasions in a few areas. I was leaning back in the car, clasping my hands that were holding the steering wheel just moments ago, trying to collect myself. My grandfather was lying on a stretcher. With his body raised, I told him to lie down, of course. But suddenly he took off the hat he was wearing and puts it on me. He said, "That was great." So that hat is... Yeah, that's the one I'm wearing right now, and I won't take it off. With that, Tsubaki looked away for a moment. The relief of being alive and unharmed, the sense of pride and accomplishment that awaited at the end. No other wave of emotion could have compared that. I stood still, quietly waiting for Tsubaki, who isolated herself in the waves, to react again. I found out later that this incident was featured on the front page of the news. Specifically, a video of me driving was reported in real time. At first, I was really freaked out. The media would have been focused on the dramatic escape of two people, so naturally they would have been interested in your skills. What I did was obviously driving without a license, but I didn't get punished because it was an emergency evacuation or something like that. On the contrary, it was the spotlight of the interview. Was it really me driving? Was it always me? Was it my first time behind the wheel of a real car, etc.? I became such a star that a lot of YouTubers would come to interview me, not just broadcasters. That doesn't sound like a good thing. Did it look like that? Well, I'm being cavalier about it, but I'm human. I know it was a bad memory. What if I was unlucky? What if the kidnapper had a quicker temper? What if my skills weren't good enough? There's probably death waiting for me, but still. Geez, I hate bringing this up. I'm being unnecessarily serious, even though I'm fine. Like I said, my sense of reality is fading. If you don't mind, I don't have anything more to add to the situation, but I don't think being funny is the only answer. Because even though the purpose of a conversation is to socialize, relationships aren't always built on laughter. Oh, so now you became worried about me. I'm fine, really. Tsubaki was smiling as usual, but at first glance she seemed a little uneasy. It must have been a pretty big deal given the media coverage, and what Tsubaki went through was no ordinary event. But since I don't remember any of it, I have no choice but to believe what Tsubaki says. Skill point. Afterward, I parted with Tsubaki, who seemed a little awkward, and returned to the private room. But then again, the story seems to have gone off on a tangent. Is this just a feeling? Interesting. Next, please. Is it nighttime? Okay. Skip this part. Okay, finally. Let's see. Where could you be? Not here, not here, not here. Not here. There she is. Do we have gifts? Do we have anything? We got... Oh, would she like airsoft gun? Would she like it? Turkish delight. Well, it's something. Hey Miyuki, would you like to come to my room if you don't mind? Your room? Why? You know, I promised you on my pinky. I've got something in mind for that. Can only do this in my room. What do you think? I don't know what it is, but I won't refuse. I'll go. Wow. Cars. Tsubaki's private room was decorated like a parking lot. There were several full-size model cars in the room. Tsubaki climbed into one of the model cars and sat down. What are you doing? Get in next to me. Well, okay then. This is a mock drive from Hiyori Tsubaki, the ultimate driver. I'm not going to bash the ride, I promised this before, but just to get the feel for it. How did you say parentheses? No, it was just a mock to begin with. Well, when you put it that way, there's nothing to say. This is a Lamborghini Murcielago, I don't know how to pronounce, which is an incredibly expensive and famous car. If you walk around Ginza, you might see one or two. Even though this car is a model, the body is the same as a real car. I think I only got the engine out, but I might as well do something about it being stuck under the roof. Interesting idea. I opened the passenger door and slid into the seat. What? The third-party evaluation? I've been thinking about that. But for now, you're the customer and I'm the employee. Okay. Hello, customer. I'm Hiyori Tsubaki, your driver for the day. I'll do my best to make sure you're comfortable on your own way. Hello, driver. The place I want to go is outside this academy. Will it take long? I don't think it will take much longer, and I'll do my best to get to our destination. What do you think? It's like a job experience, right? A pro is a pro after all. Cool. Thanks. Do I have a little more respect from you? People who are the best at what they do deserve respect, regardless of their field. Well, I guess that's a bone in the mouth. I just wanted you to respect me. Tsubaki chuckled softly as she said this. Tsubaki. Yeah, what is it? It's been a while since I've heard you say my name. The last time I talked to you, I was thinking, you're such a natural storyteller. Compliments to my face. Did I do something wrong? Or maybe you just want to make yourself look good, which is totally understandable because I'm consciously thinking about it, but you're looking good. I don't mean to deny the beauty part, but that's not really what I'm trying to say. What are you talking about? Did I forget something else? I don't know. It's... No, wait, don't tell me. I'll remember it myself. It's like... I was going to tell you how I got my license before, but I got sidetracked again. Is that it? Well, come to think of it, I forgot again. I started up remembering the purpose of the conversation, but ended up completely losing the flow of the conversation to you. That's a scary skill. Yeah, that's it. I have two talents that might surprise some people. The greatest genius of all time, blaspheming even the gods, was Hiyori Tsubaki. Don't get me wrong, I think that's a great talent. Well, actually, it's part of being a driver. If I'm driving alone, I won't, but sometimes I'm requested to drive passengers. Requests? It's one of my main sources of income. I get requests to transport things, pick up people, etc. And I usually say yes, unless it smells like a crime. I once had the honor of serving the president of a company. I mean, this is what I always wanted to do, I guess. There's a movie that I watched at the time that was funny, where the hired driver says to his employer that he's a CEO. What did they say exactly? You set out every morning with the head of a family, the head of a company, or just a lonely man. Isn't this a kind of companionship? That's how I describe my type of driver. Isn't that cool? What kind of movie is that? So something told me that I should treat the higher class as if we were traveling together, as if we were friends who had traveled a long way together. And then lo and behold, there's a cranky old man on board. My first impression is that he was a total dick. Tells me my suit and hat don't go together, and secretly dismissed me as a young kid. The hat that you're wearing now? I'm sure it's a cherished hat, but I don't think it would look good with a formal suit. Well, I took the risk on my own, but no matter what, it's not fair to criticize me like that. He hired me. I'm not doing this because I'm broke, and honestly, I was pissed off, but I made a promise to myself, so I sucked it up and started driving. From Yokohama to Haneda Airport, It was just a short distance, it was inevitably boring. I was the first one to talk to him. A young lady in blue asked me how I got into this business. How could I miss this topic? You haven't said everything you ever said to me. I hope not. What? That's not quite right, I guess. Don't worry, they've seen my face in the rear view mirror. At first they were listening to it while fiddling with their phones, but halfway through she put it down and was completely engaged. She's been listening intently, you know, and not everybody at this age can tell a life story like this. That's undeniably true, but when she heard my story, she said that I have an unusual life, even for someone who is the head of a company. She said she had a daughter the size of me and couldn't resist asking. My existence is a bit unusual, even for me. You might be wondering, what's a high school girl driver like me doing in a profession full of dudes like chauffeurs? After that, we just chatted and made it to the airport safely. She apologized for ignoring me, told me to be a good adult, and we parted ways. Future advice, that's pretty deep for a daily employer-employee conversation. Sounds like the ideal companion, right? After that, I gained so much confidence that whenever I had a client, I'd win them over with a big speech. Call it ice-breaking. And so far, zero complaints. It's not often that you get to hear from someone who's going to be enrolled in Whole Speak Academy, so everyone is curious. You've pointed it out, but I tend to get pretty wordy once I start talking. That's another favorite. I've had clients thank me for the stories and say they lost track of time. You've realized you're getting long-winded. I know I look like I'm rambling and unthinking, but I do this thing called introspection, because even I can't be perfect all the time. What do you think? Is it cool? Do I look a little different? I have the humility to evolve. You're like a quadruped. Part of the art is to create a fun atmosphere so that the other person doesn't shrug. You've got all the bravado in the world, Miyuki, but not the people skills. What? You look serious. You know I'm joking, right? If you get hurt here, I'm the bad person now. No, don't say that, because it's true. It's no wonder I am clumsy, since all my memories of human relationships have been erased. So can you help me? You said before that I should come to you with my problems. My problems that I can't communicate well with people. I'd love to talk to you further and see if we can figure out a way to resolve this. What? I didn't think much of it, and this is what I get? I'm a little confused. But it's not unreasonable, and I promised after all. She's blushing. I like talking to you. We'll be friends for the rest of our lives, and not just in the school, and I'll help you find your memories once we escape. Best friends for life, what do you think? Did I overdo it? We've only talked about staying friends. That's a little awkward, Tsubaki. What? I was just responding to what you said. Can you stop talking like a third party? It's just something that I thought would be okay for you, and I went too far without meaning to. Maybe it's because we talk about it a lot. I don't know. The Tsubaki in this world is so confused while talking to people. It's all because of you. Your face is always expressionless, but you say everything you need to say. I will never bend to you again. Never, no matter what you say. I think you're trying to tease me, but it's not working, okay? Thank you, Tsubaki. Yeah, it's a good boy who knows how to be grateful. Although I didn't mention why I was grateful, Tsubaki nodded in her usual confident manner, as if she knew without having to be told. An understanding that transcends the medium of conversation. Could only hope, and perhaps not unreasonably, that our future relationship would be like this. She's pretty fun. I then separated from Tsubaki and returned to my private room. Before I go, you should finish what you're saying. How on earth did you get your license anyway? Oops, I was in such a good mood I forgot again. But nothing much happened after that, even after I became famous and showed my enthusiasm for driving. My original talent was noticed and became a force to be reckoned with in the country. Eventually, the social debate about licensing minors became intense, and that's the license that was given to me on a trial basis, limited to the people on that topic. There were a lot of naysayers, but it's a risky license for the proponents, and if you mess up, it's taken away. That's how much they believed in me, and I'm grateful to them, so I'm going to behave myself until I'm an adult. Haven't you already won all the licenses? But my sponsor, grandfather, Ask me how this is going. It gets me a car from time to time, so how can I put up with this? They even figure it all out after a drive or two. Well, I got my license, but I've never driven a heavy machine in real life. I'll try when I'm a real adult. Sounds like you have no problem driving it now, but you're being watched. If that's what you heard, you're right. I'm the best and I always will be. Be grateful that you're able to stay connected with someone like this. Sure, I'll only respect you from now on. Afterward, I spent some more time chatting with Tsubaki. Felt that my relationship with Tsubaki couldn't go any deeper. Awesome. So, what skills do we get? Please be cool. Best driver. You can just adjust your speed during logic dive. What was logic dive again? Return to my room. I forget what logic dive is. Is that some kind of race? Was there a race in the trial before? I don't remember. I don't remember stuff that easily. So who's next? Done with you. Let's go for the dudes. I don't think we can go for that guy. I wonder what this guy can do. Something rich. Oh well. So yeah, we're done. This is Danganronpa Mauve. What was her name? God damn it. Danganronpa Mauve. Hiyori Tsubaki's FTEs. If you want to try the game for yourselves, the links are in the description. Translation provided to you by Zephram. Follow them more for Danganronpa related stuff. Links are in the description. That is all for today. Stay safe and take care of yourselves.